Hello YouTube, vinyl community, how the devil are you? My name's Nick. Welcome to the channel. Bless you for taking time out to have a look at the video. Some of you may recognise me from these sort of familiar surroundings, sat in a car, coming up on Rachel's live streams and saying hello and this, that and the other, or you may recognise the name from me lurking in the peanut gallery. This is a bit of a introductory VC type video. It'll be in two halves. This is obviously the first half. Bit of a talking heads type introduction, rambling on and on and on. But just bloody take that down, bloody. Well, actually, let's take it off. Bloody pain in the ass. The things we have to do when we want to go shopping in this bloody country. Yeah, so this part, bit of a chit chat. Second half, I'll be at home, and we'll show you a few records, a little selection of what I like to buy and listen to, and although I hate the bloody term, collect. So I've had a channel sort of set up and ready to go in its basic form, I suppose, for a good few years. I've been watching VC videos for even longer than that. But time has this, well, not so much time, but life in general has this horrible habit of sort of putting on a pair of Doc Martin boots and taking a long bloody run up and kicking you fairly and squarely in the old plums. And due to family problems, mostly my partner battling serious illness, etc., I've never really had a lot of time to sort of do videos. But funnily enough, I'm starting to find more time now. So I thought, well, why not sort of jump in and get things going, as it were. So yeah, I've been watching VC videos for a hell of a long time. I've always been struck by the passion and that people, both young and old, because it's not just older people like me, I suppose, that do these sorts of videos. It's younger people as well. There's a great passion and knowledge about what they like to buy and listen to and collect. There's that bloody word again. So yeah, I was extremely struck by that. And when you sort of see people sat there holding up a record that you own yourself, it sort of instantly grabs your attention, doesn't it? And you sit there watching and listening and to what people have got to say about it. Some people love the record, some people aren't quite sure, and others, well, they don't really care for it, but it grabs your attention and pulls you in, and you want to know more about the person. You know, what else do they like? What else do they like to buy and collect? Again, that bloody horrible word. And it makes you think, well, how did they get hold of the record in the first place? How did it make it? Especially some records are so, or what I class as so typically British. And I know bands and record companies, etc., promote their stuff in different countries all over the world. But it always amazes me how something, like I say, so typically British, for example, makes its way over to America, Canada, Europe. Daft, silly, throwaway comment. But yeah, these YouTube VC videos really draw you in. So I was sat there thinking, well, I'm watching and listening to all this. Maybe I have something to offer. Maybe people want to see what I buy and listen to and collect, etc. Perhaps people are interested in my opinions. So yeah, I always wanted to sort of join in the fun, as it were, but because of family problems, etc., I've never really had the time. But like I say, I'm finding more time now, strangely enough. I haven't really got the privacy in the house to sort of sit down and think and plan and do videos. This is why I'm sat in the car. I've just been shopping. I've got a few minutes. I'm parked up, so here we go. First part of an introductory video. The next bit you'll see, I'll be at home. I've actually got a few records pulled out, a small selection. Yeah, a few records I've got already pulled out. We'll have a look at what they are. Some you've seen before, you've probably seen 100 times. Some I don't think you have seen. Well, I doubt if you have done. I may not sort of stand there waxing lyrical over them all. I might add a comment or two. But yeah, let's get home. Let's get the other half of this introductory VC video done, and see how it goes from there. Okay, see you in a bit. Hello there, YouTube vinyl community. Bless you for sticking with the video. You can probably tell I'm not sat in a car at a minute in some supermarket car park. I'm actually home in the spare bedroom, which is acting as a junk room and a makeshift bedroom while I get the whole house decorated and sorted, etc, etc. Anyway, it's not why you called. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. I've turned it down quite a bit, so hopefully it's not too loud. I'm actually listening to that Sound of Music, the Addicts. Addicts are a British punk band. I actually picked this up last weekend at a record fair. Been after some stuff by the Addicts for a long time. Great band. They're from Ipswich, which is East Anglia region of England. This is a last year's reissue. It's Italian pressing. The album was originally released 1982. That's the Addicts logo. Lead singer. They call it Clockwork Punk because he I think he reminds people of the characters out of A Clockwork Orange. So I must apologise for sort of displaying the records this way. It's probably the easiest way of me doing so until I can get something more permanent sorted out. So you'll have to bear with me, okay? So that's a pickup from last weekend. Now, what do I particularly like to buy, collect, etc.? Well, I don't mind a bit of 60s. Manfred Mann, great 60s band. If you're a Manfred Mann fan, this is probably the one for you. All their hits on it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Doo-Wah, Diddy Diddy, Pretty Flamingo, Mighty Quinn, you name it. The only stuff not on here is the Manfred Mann's Earth band. Different era, different band setup. You might notice these stickers. They're not actually on the label LP sleeve. I put them on the outer protective sleeve. Tells me tells me the year they released, the country the record was released in, and the record company, the label. I haven't got a particularly very good memory. These things help me along, okay? So we've got 60s, 70s. For me, got to be in the top 10 of the best British bands of all time. 6 number ones in 2 years. I absolutely adored Slade back in the 70s when I was a youngster. I used to have the long shoulder length hair and the platform shoes and that. That was the fashion of the times. Slade, absolutely bloody fantastic. And there's more to Slade than a Christmas song. you know the one I mean. And it's never Christmas until Noddy says so. Okay, 70s, Slade. 80s, I love a bit of 80s. I grew up basically in the 80s. Ultravox. Funnily enough, I've never listened to a sort of dedicated studio album by Ultravox. I kind of stuck with their hits and the 7-inch singles. Perhaps it's something I need to change, I don't know. But as far as hits compilations go, this one's absolutely bloody fantastic. It's one of those I'd say it's definitely all filler. All killer. Sorry, and no filler. Fantastic album. And it's one of these albums I see quite a lot of when I'm out at the car boot sales doing a bit of crate digging in the wilderness. I picked this one up for only £1. Mustn't grumble, bloody fantastic. One of my main loves. You've seen this one 100 times before. I absolutely love punk. I've got some punk on the record player at the minute. Yeah, I remember when I was walking the streets, I suppose, with friends and all that as a kid. Seen all the teenagers with the coloured spiky hair and leather jackets with all the badges and the patches on and the painted slogans and the airwear boots and the chains and goodness knows what else. I wish I could have got into all of that stuff, but I don't think my mum would have approved. This, I think, is a second press. We'll get onto this in a second. First pressings didn't have the track listings on them. First pressings, however, did come with a free single. One-sided 7-inch single. Some of them even came with a poster. If you got a really good first press, poster, minty, free 7-inch single, money. Funnily enough, last weekend's record fair, I could have picked up a first press. He was only wanting £68 for it. He'd have gone down to 60, but the trouble is though, I saw other stuff I wanted, so I had to leave it. I have got the chap's name and number. I might contact him and go and buy it. We'll see. As you can see, the free 7-inch single has been lovingly autographed by Julie. Why do people do it? I just don't know. I believe there is a way of getting rid of this writing. I'm sure I've seen a video on YouTube. But there you go. Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. One you've seen before many a time. I love a bit of soul. And I love listening to this bloke, Gino Washington and the Ram Jam Band. Yeah, he's American, I believe, but he spends, I don't know if he lives over here in Britain, but he's here touring a hell of a lot. Plays a lot of pubs and clubs and whatever. He's kind of adopted British. And of course, the name Gino Washington, you might recall it from the Dexys Midnight Runners. Number 1 7-inch single, Gino. That's about him. I don't know if Nick Rudeau or AGK are watching. I thought I'd chuck this in. Nick Rudeau loves the Ventures. I I'm not a particularly big fan of the Ventures. I've chucked this in for one reason. I have a sort of a sub record collecting thing on the go. I collect any record I can find that has a Vespa or a Lambretta scooter or any other make of scooter on the front cover. That's an old Vespa. I have played the album. It's not in particularly good condition, but I picked it up only for a couple of quid or so, mainly because of that. And I've got a few other albums with scooters on the front. There's a Count Basie one I'm after. Basie Rise Again. He's sat in an old Vespa. And there's a Bo Diddley one where he's sat in an American type scooter I'm after as well. But yeah, I thought I'd chuck it in. There's one for you, Nick Rudo and AGK. Moving on. Two-tone. I absolutely love and adore two-tone. This is an original compilation. Going back to 1983 when this was released. A lot of the usual two-tone hits on it. There was a reissue of it this year, I believe it was, for Record Store Day, along with another great two-tone album, the soundtrack to the two-tone film Dance Craze. This originally came with a poster. This one hasn't got it. If I'd dearly love to find it, I'd probably have to spend about 20 quid on it, but it's just well worth trying to track down and buy to make this more complete. Oh, this one. This is especially from John, Mr. Bip Bop Boom. The Meteors live. I absolutely adore the Meteors. I've got a few of their records. They're one of those bands, well, they're British psychobilly. British psychobilly at its very, very best. They're probably more popular and famous in America and mainland Europe. And one of those bands, they do have studio albums, but they are best seen and heard live. This is a live album up in Glasgow. It's one of my most played. Well, I do have the proper black vinyl version as well, but I saw this for £5 and I wasn't going to turn it down. One of the most played records I own, the Meteors. Absolutely love psychobilly. Moving on. Motown. I've got a good Motown collection. This is one of those Motown albums you see quite a lot of at car boot sales. Usual standard fare on it. You can see the acts and the songs. Again, only £1. If you see it, well worth picking up. Now, this young lady, I absolutely adore Toyah. Bit of a punk princess. She's in her early 60s now, still singing. She just released a new album called Posh Pop. I haven't managed to get hold of yet. Yeah, back in the day, kids had posters of Debbie Harry, or especially young boys, Debbie Harry and that on the walls. I was into this young lady, Toyah, my favourite female vocalist of all time. One other fact, she's married to Mr. Prog Rock, Robert Fripp. Toyah, absolutely love her. I absolutely love my Skinhead reggae. I was into the Skinhead movement for a period in the second half of the 80s. Bands' studio albums from the day, like the Maytals and all that sort of stuff, quite hard to find, and when you do find them, very, very pricey. Your best bet is to hunt out Trojan Compilations. This is probably the most popular one you'll see. I've got 2 other volumes in this series, and I believe it goes up to volume 8. I've got 2, 5 and 8. Great stuff. I believe also that's the secretary of the Trojan offices at the time in the photo. Well, I've never seen her stark bollock naked, so I can't deny or confirm that, but that's what I heard anyway. Mr. Rob Walker would love this. The Jam, one of my favourite bands. I've got all the albums. I've got the Dig the New Breed album, which was a live one, which was released after they split up. That one's a bit of a elephant in the room type thing. Most people regard it, but I love it. This one, not one of my big favourites of theirs, but it was close to hand, so I picked it out anyway. The Jam. Do love the Jam. This is the modern world. Now, Gary Numan, Tubeway Army. The very first record I ever purchased and owned was a Tubeway Army 7-inch single. Absolutely adore Gary Numan. I'm a bit of a Newmanoid. Only picked this up for a couple of quid from a car boot sale. Extremely pleased to have it in my collection. You can see all the songs on there. Always on the lookout for Gary Numan stuff. I've done well with Gary Numan 12-inch singles recently. Got a few more added to the collection. Yep, absolutely love Gary Numan. Madam Sin, I love this one. Cecil Bustamante Campbell, aka Prince Buster, the godfather of ska. That's what I've always called him, and a lot of people have. Madam Sin might say otherwise, but I respect his opinion. He's been playing a lot of great old ska stuff and that, and his knowledge is second to none. So power to you, sir. I love Prince Buster. Absolutely bloody fantastic. Of course, Madness, their first single release, was a tribute to Prince Buster. The name Madness comes from one of his tunes. A lot of his songs have been covered by Madness and other ska bands. Indeed, a lot of the early ska hits and the Skinhead reggae tunes have been covered. I think this is a first press. It's a very, very early one. I know that. This was the most expensive record I ever purchased in my collection. I've recently just beaten it. But yeah, God bless Prince Buster. One of my heroes. This is another one of my heroes. Ian Dury. Ian Dury and the Blockheads. There with his son Baxter. This is a German pressing. It was actually given to me by a record dealer, Germany, who I ordered some stuff from. Bought a couple of other Ian Dury records off of him. He said, well, you must be a big Dury fan. I'll send you my copy of New Boots and Panties, and here it is. Yep, German pressing. I do have a British press as well. Absolutely love Ian Dury. One of those singer-songwriters that doesn't get the credit I think he so richly deserves. Of course, no longer with us. Ian Dury and the Blockheads. I've got a good Ian Dury collection. I'll have to show it off one day. Oi. Skinhead Oi. Basically, punk skinheads. Absolutely love Oi. Particularly a band on here I do like, Oi Polloi. You can see when they're Scottish. I do a track which features on here actually called Skinhead. It is available to watch on YouTube. Indeed, all of these bands and artists are. Please go and search them out. I'll try and put links into the video. But please go and search out all these things on YouTube. They are there. There you can see it. Oi Polloi Skinhead. one of those sort of tunes along with punk. So I really love sort of speed, hardcore punk as well. It's sort of stuff that gets the old blood pumping and that. But yeah, oi, really love that. And you're probably thinking, what the bloody hell was that doing? He's been listening to oi, hardcore sort of stuff, and now he's showing this. I love this film to death. Really, I honestly do. There's a place in my heart. I can watch this film over and over and over again, and I'll sit there singing away. This is a original film soundtrack. Ron Moody. Fagin, got to pick a pocket or two. You got to pick a pocket or two. Absolutely adore the film. There's a little special place in my heart. 2 left now. I do collect comedy. I've got a decent comedy collection. This is one of my comedy heroes from became really prominent in the early-ish 80s, that new wave sort of era of comedy when things got really political, especially when Margaret Thatcher came into power here in Britain. Alexei Sayle, star of stand-up TV. He was in The Young Ones. If you remember, if you ever watched The Young Ones, he played Mr. Bolofsky, their landlord. This is a live performance. There he is. Marcel Marceau does Bruce Springsteen. Mussolini does George Formby. And that underneath the stick, that's Mr. Sweary. Yeah, absolutely love Alexei Sayle. Don't particularly care much for his politics, but there you go. You can't have it all your own way, can you? First comedy record I ever brought as well. Last but not least, because 20 minutes. You all know what this is. This is my old battered copy of it. My much loved copy of Quadrophenia. My favourite record in the world. Absolutely adore this. The Who. Well, people ask me, what's your favourite band? I always come back to these. Love The Who. I don't think I could live without this album in any record collection. In fact, when my time comes and they're screwing down the lid of the old coffin, this will be in there with me. Absolutely love The Who. Love the film. Love this record. What more can I say? I do actually quickly. You've seen the album. Most CD in the truck I drive for a living. That's a British copy. That's French. That's German, West German. So it's obviously, that was obviously knocked up before the fall of the Berlin Wall, I would imagine. These two, the French and the German, the sound quality is absolute pants. And I'm not saying it to be biased. There's the British one. It sounds like the band are in the studio doing their thing with the instruments, and Roger Daltrey's the other side of the building in a bloody toilet cubicle, probably straining for a dump or something. The actual sound recording is bloody awful. It really, really is. So I don't play these two. They're just here for, I don't know, collecting sentimental reasons, I suppose. British one, the best of them all. Right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet into what I like. Let's put this back. Yeah, centre stage. Little snippet there into what I like buying, collecting, listening to. Any thoughts, ideas, comments, if you just want to say hello. You know where to put them, in the comments section. I have got other videos lined up. I'm going to do a response to Vinyl Dale and his 4545s. I'm working on Nick Rudo's Competition cover versions. That's a bit of a contentious thing, that is. Any videos I do are going to be a bit rough and ready because I know nothing about editing, etc, etc. I'm a bit of a technophobe. I can work a toaster and the cooker, so that's a bonus. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, watching, etc. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.